The river, the waterfall, the river again. God and nature get the big headlines, but human beauty all by itself was more than enough to change my life. I was 13 when it happened. I was shooting hoops in the driveway, practicing my last second shots and dreaming of glory, an ordinary American kid killing time on a Tuesday morning in July, and there she was, the neighbor girl. Let's just call her Madeline. And she was doing these amazing backflips in her front yard, one after the other, after the other, after the other, as if gravity was a personal choice instead of a law, as if her next trick just might be flying. Eventually, of course, it had to happen. She felt me watching her. She stopped. She looked across the street. She considered her options. And then whatever she meant by it, she smiled. I think I probably tried to smile back. I know I learned that day what it means to sigh. I felt brave, afraid, alive. My heart got wise like a road map. You have to unfold it to find out where you're going. But once you do, you never get the son of a bitch back into its original shape. Although after a while, that crumpled up mess does start to seem normal. The river, the waterfall, the river again. Last guy, last bus, late Sunday night, looks out his window and sees me, hunched over and staring into the engine of a broken down green Chrysler LeBaron, like if I just stare at it long enough, it'll somehow or other magically start. Wisdom is 3 goldfish belly up in the bowl. The backyard is where we bury those dreams of permanence. My daughter makes a popsicle stick cross to mark the spot, to honor what disappeared despite her love and vigilance. She doesn't bother asking me why pain like this has to happen. She's 7. She already knows I can't answer the questions that really matter. She already knows that I think the best prayer is silence, but she says a few words of benediction anyway. We both say, Amen. The river, the waterfall, the river again. In this part of the poem, I'm 48 years old. In this part of the poem, there's an angry woman. Let's just call her Madeline. Right now, I'm watching her get smaller and smaller as she heads down the sidewalk, climbs into her blue Geo Prism and pulls away from the curb. She hesitates for maybe half a moment at the stop sign. My heart flutters. We all know why. But then she hits the gas hard. She hits the gas hard, burning rubber, and making a sudden and absolute right turn onto North Main Street, vanishing into the rush hour traffic like a jack-in-the-box after you click the lid shut. Hope is another name for hunger. The hardest thing to see is what's right there, right in front of your eyes. What matters most is what you turn love into after love turns on you. The river, the waterfall, the river again. The parent who dies when you're still young seems like a tragic hero. The one who goes second after you're grown and finally afraid of your own death, that loss feels more like your platoon sergeant just bought it. You feel it, you know it like a heartbeat. Survival is random happenstance, a crapshoot within a much larger crapshoot. It could have just as easily have been you who took the bullet, but it wasn't. Not this time, but it will be soon enough. And I was there in the room last month when my mother died. And I'm here to tell you that she did it like a champion. She did it like, okay, enough is enough. This is the only part of my life I haven't done yet, so let's just get the fuck on with it. So, without fear or without shame, she said her goodbyes. She turned out the lights, and she got lost for good. Another name for grief is gratitude. The only name for death is death. The river, the waterfall, the river again.
Jim Dwyer.